We're back on the live stream with the React Native keynote crew on ReactConf Day 2. We got Nico, Ruben, Alex, and obviously Riccardo. Folks, you had a lot of amazing announcements today. I was also there, just chilling. And we have a lot of questions coming in from our audience. I'm just going to ask them, and whoever has the answer, grab the microphone, give us some thoughts, okay? Ready to go? Cool. So, I guess this one's for Ruben, actually. How do you decide which DOM APIs to implement?
That's a good question. Is it close enough? Okay. We look at how people are using, for example, React Strict DOM on web, on React Native, and like what are the capabilities that are missing. And that's like a very big thing that's driving us. We also look at what are the products at Meta trying to use and how they're trying to share code, and what are the things that are mostly blocking them. And so we prioritize those. But also we take a look at what are the things that are easy to implement in userland, and what are the things that we need to bring into the runtime. And so we prioritize the things that are hard to polyfill, and what can be polyfilled. It probably exists already in React Strict DOM, so we let people use that for now.
Cool, thank you. And this next one's probably for Riccardo. When can I get, as someone from the audience asking, when can I get Liquid Glass outside of Expo?
Okay, well, that's easy. Codestack developed a library which is called at codestack/Liquid Glass, which is, well, the library that you can use if you are not on Expo. It implements all the features from Liquid Glass, like merging different Liquid Glass containers, the Liquid Glass effect, so try it out.
Cool, so it's already out there. That's awesome. Let's go with Alex. We got some debugger questions for you. Any news on debugger support in VS Code?
Yeah, so I guess debug support in VS Code works now, apart from a couple glitches. This has always been the case. Our debugger backend supports any DevTools frontend. We officially support React Native DevTools, our custom flavor of Chrome DevTools frontend. But VS Code also uses that protocol for JavaScript debugging. It uses CDP, Chrome DevTools protocol. And it mostly works, but it needs a couple of patches for things it does slightly differently around like source maps and knowing where the files are. So Expo have actually patched this in their VS Code Expo plugin, which is free, and you can add to any React Native app, and it will work in that sense. And Radon IDE also does the same thing and a lot more things to make IDE debugging work really well. But from our side, I think, we'd like to make VS Code debugging work natively a bit better. We've talked with the VS Code Microsoft team just to say we could upstream some of the fixes that Expo made, and also make our backend a bit more lenient to what VS Code needs as well. And another thing we need is multiple session support. So ideally, you can always connect a debugger session from VS Code to the device and have your logs streaming correctly through CDP. But you can also open a React Native DevTools window on top of that and have them simultaneously working. So that's a capability we need to add next, and probably will want to with also stuff like AI as a client too.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
We'll work on that, yeah.
Thank you, Alex. That's awesome. Obviously, a lot of work still ahead for the debugger and the DevTools. Nico, you've talked a lot about AI apps that are using React Native, either to build their own UI or to generate app for others. And there's a question here about how Gen AI tools have made it easy to quickly generate a lot of code. Sometimes it's of dubious quality. Do you have any advice for junior developers or mentors to junior developers on how to tackle that?
Yeah, so, well, the suggestion on AI is just treat it as yet another tool. No, it's like a linter, it's like a static analyzer. It's not going to replace you entirely. At least that's my personal opinion, obviously. So yeah, you can vibe code application, great, but then at some point, eventually, you will have to read through the code and you will have to maintain it in the long run. So don't consider those tools like as a one-on-one replacement, but always consider them as like something that can support you during your day-to-day development.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right way to go. Okay, folks, any final thoughts or comments or anything you'd like to highlight to our audience at home before we move on to the final round of questions?
I can add one thing. This morning we released React Native 082, and this is like the purest conference-driven development that we do. So the blog post is called React Native 82, A New Era. So go check it out. If you go on reactnative.dev, it's literally the first blog post. You find out it's packed with features and new capabilities, so make sure you don't miss it.
Awesome.
There's one more thing. I think we've included on the documentation in our website information on how to try some experimental and canary features in React Native. And so if people are interested in trying some of the things that we've been mentioning, apart from DOM APIs that are already available in 82, they can check the documentation that we have and they can try things like web performance APIs already that are available in Canary.
Great.
And last thing for me, migrate to the new architecture, please. Let's do it.
Yes, definitely. Okay, quick round for each one of you, starting with Nico. What's your favorite React feature ever?
I think my favorite React feature is like probably transforms.
Oh.
Yeah, I know it's. I love animations, and they allow you to basically specify in JavaScript all sorts of like animations, like or like transforms they apply to your view, and you can get really nerdy, and you can even pass like a matrix that will be applied to your view. I know this is like really a really niche feature, but I like also to look into the implementation and how is it done, and I find it like just amazing that. It allows you to abstract away like complicated math and just write JavaScript code and explain like how your view should change. This is really like one of the key feature of React Native.
Awesome. Ruben, favorite React feature?
So I'm a performance person, and so there's one feature in React that I've been waiting for years to get.
Oh yeah?
We had like a very hacky solution working internally at Meta to get this, that was abusing like all the internals of React in a way that we shouldn't do it. But now we have React performance tracks, and I would say that's like my favorite React feature in the recent years.
Okay, staying on Keynote script, good stuff. Alex, favorite React feature?
Fast refresh.
Fast refresh. One of the classics, of course.
Absolutely. There's like, it makes development so much better. And there's a lot of stuff under the hood to make it work reliably that we do that's taken for granted, but it's a complete unique selling point of React Native.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Riccardo?
Now I'm sad because I'm the last and Alex just stole my answer.
Hey, we can get a lot of love for fast refresh.
I mean, being a mobile developer as a background, having to wait every time I make a change on my iOS application to see it happening, to have to rebuild it, like fast refresh is a game changer.
I'm a big fan of fast refresh too. Thank you, folks, for that amazing keynote earlier today, and thank you for spending the time to answer questions from our live audience at home. Yeah, that's it, folks. We're going to take a little break now, and then we're going to come back with more talks later on. Catch you all later.